Hi, this is Dr. Darwin, the new dentist coach, with another episode of Ask Dr. Darwin on the New Dentist Podcast Show, where you ask questions about getting into dental school, getting into residency, and even becoming a dentist in the U.S. Today's show is special because we have a PreDental student, and he's just had his first interview that he rocked. I know he's rocking. He's been trying to get in contact with me and kind of get prepared for the interview. So today you're going to learn about some interviewing tips, what they actually ask in the interview, what the questions are, how the interview day is set up, and then also some tips on getting prepared for the interview, things that you can do better the next time. So hope you guys are on and enjoying this. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Dr. Darwin, the new dentist coach. You can find me here on YouTube at Dr. Darwin Speaks, and join in. Hit the notification if you haven't subscribed yet. Hit the notification so that you will be able to get all the videos that I'm posting throughout the week, and you'll be the first to see those videos. So today we're joined with future student Dr. Winston Ramsey. How you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you, Dr. Darwin.
Hey, so I'm glad we've been connecting or trying to connect on this Instagram these last, I guess, couple of weeks, and we kind of ran out of time to get completely prepared for the interview. But I think over the last 48 hours, I was texting you and you were texting me back, and it seemed like you had a great day. So first, tell everybody about yourself.
Well, I'm 24 years old, about to be 25. I went to undergrad, University of Florida, go Gators. I actually grew up in Jamaica for a majority of my childhood, so moving to Florida was a bit of a culture shock, but the weather is nice in both places. Right. I currently reside in Houston. I work as a dental assistant at Lakeside Family Dentistry, and that's pretty much my story in a nutshell.
Wow, Houston, that's one of my favorite cities, man. I lived there. I lived in Pearland, not south of downtown Houston, and worked in a big cosmetic practice there when I was there for about 4 or 5 years. So, first of all, how did you find out about us? How did you find out about me?
I actually stumbled across one of your videos on YouTube. I was watching Future DDS, and one of your videos was in the recommended, so I clicked it, and I was impressed. So I reached out via Instagram. Yeah,
that's cool, man. It's so interesting how things kind of come full circle. The guys at Future DDS are D2 students at TUFTS, where you were yesterday for your interview. So let's just cut to the chase, man. How was your interview? Like, give us kind of like a brief synopsis of how your day went from the time that you arrived there in Boston throughout your day.
Well, of course, Boston was freezing when I got there. But overall, the experience was just wonderful. Everyone was welcoming. It was warm. We just walked in, and there were a couple more of the potential future dentists that were in there. And we all just kind of sat down and were having a brief discussion. And some of the faculty went past and they were making jokes and stuff about it just to make us feel more comfortable. So I really appreciated that because I know we were all stressed out. But it was really, really welcoming. It was a breath of fresh air, in my opinion. Everyone was just super supportive.
Now, for you, what was stressful? Was it stressful because this was your first interview? You didn't know what to expect, or you just naturally just kind of being nervous?
I mean, of course, there's a natural nerves, but since it was my first interview, I didn't know what exactly to expect. And, reading stuff from Student Doctor Network, it kind of puts a little fear in your heart because some people have some horror stories with their interviews. So just walking into that, it was just a little scary, but they made it feel wonderful.
Okay. Good. So all of you guys, I want you to talk a little bit more about the day. So all you guys were in a room together. How many people were there?
Together there was 9 of us. No, 10. There were 10 of us. of us.
10
Yeah.
of you. They had you all in the room. And then what happened? Did someone come out, do a presentation? Like what happened?
So actually, yes, Dr. Holloway came out and started giving us like a brief synopsis of everything. And that was just our introduction. And they had a couple dental students ranging from D1 to D3 come on into the room, and we had a chat with them. And Dr. Casper, he also came in and just gave us a history lesson about Boston, why we should come there.
Who
And
was it? Dr. Who?
Casper,
Casper?
yeah,
Jasper? Casper?
I think Casper.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was going to say, that's one of the things I always tell my pre-dental mentees is that you got to make sure you know everybody's name before you leave, because you want to do a couple things with those names, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But go ahead. So Dr. Holloway, Dr. Casper came through.
Yeah, so he just gave us a like history lesson and like a mini interview before or big one. He just, asked us what was our biggest achievement, and we went around the table. And we also did a little icebreaker in which we paired off into teams and introduced each other and, just told them something unique about that person that we met. So I think that was a nice little team building exercise.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And then what happened?
Like we had lunch, and in the middle of lunch, then interviews just began. They started calling our names, and we were like escorted to each our little quarters, and that's when the interview started.
Gotcha. So your interview. So tell us a little bit about the interview. Like, how long was it? How many people were in the room? And well, let's start with that. So was it just you and another person? Were there 2, 3 other people?
There were 2 other people. There were 2 interviewers, which was a little different for me. But overall was still okay. They bounced between each other for asking questions, and questions were the big ones. Tell me about yourself. Tell me like a struggle that you had, how you overcame it. Of course, they threw the ethical question at you. Like, what would you do if you saw someone cheating on an exam, or you thought someone was cheating on the exam or something? Yeah, pretty heavy hitters there.
Right. So three primary questions. Tell us about yourself. They ask you the ethical question, like what would you do if you saw someone cheating? What was the second one?
The other one was, what is one of your struggles, and how did you overcome it?
Right. Okay. Name a struggle or a challenge. That's usually a popular one, and how you overcame it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So how'd you feel you did with the answers?
I think I did pretty okay. I tried to be a little bit more lighthearted with tell me about yourself.
Yeah, I know from our text that was the question that you were kind of like, Dr. Hayes, text me back. I don't know how I'm going to answer this one. I'm not sure how I'm going to respond to that. And I think I had texted you back and said, well, first of all, be yourself, be confident, right? That's a tip. You guys got to be yourself when you're in these interviews.
Absolutely.
It's already a lot of stress, but just be yourself, right? Because that person that is going to actually go to dental school for those 4 years, you have to be yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to survive, right? So you got to be yourself. You got to be confident, right? You don't want to be answer questions or communicate like a sense of like, I'm not sure, uncertainty. Yeah, kind of. No, you don't. We don't want those types of people. You don't. And when you're in dental school, you don't want those types of classmates or people working on you. You want people that have a level of confidence and not necessarily cocky, right? There's a difference between being cocky and having confidence.
Yes.
Right? And the other tip I think I remember telling you was, when you talk to people, make sure you make that eye contact, right? Don't be talking to them and you kind of looking over to the side. Looking over to the side. You want to make contact with that one person who asked the question, but also the person that's over to the left or over to the right. As you're talking, you can also direct some of that conversation to that person there and that person there, but you always want to maintain eye contact.
Yes, sir.
So, and I know I text that to you kind of late the night before, but how do you think you did with that?
I think that definitely helped me a lot, especially with the eye contact, since I'm a bit more of on the shy side.
Mm-hmm.
So just being myself, I think made that eons easier. Just being able to answer and just flow rather than trying to sound way too upscale or, you know.
Yeah.
So it definitely helped a lot. Just
Because you
being,
got to remember, you 9 that they saw yesterday are not the only 9 that they've seen over the course of this year, last year, and years before. So they have heard some of the same answers over and over and over and over again. So that's why you just have to be genuine. You just have to be yourself. Don't try to answer the question or questions with answers you think they want you to answer. You know what I mean? You just have to be yourself. You have to be yourself. How did you answer the question of tell us about yourself? Because I know that was a tricky one for you. So how did you answer that?
Of course, I just said my name and the age and such, and went through a little bit brief history of how I grew up in Jamaica, what it was like, growing up in the rural setting with all the animals and such, and growing up with my grandmother primarily, and just like making a little joke, talking about how since she raised me, I was kind of like a miniature elderly person because like I took on her characteristics. And then, I went through talking about schooling, how that was important, and just talking about just today how currently I'm working as a dental assistant. So of course I'm being as immersed in dentistry as possible because that's what I want to do. I want to see it. I want to have it hands-on. But I'm also working as a tutor so that I can have enough funds to, put aside for my education.
Good. All right. Well, you seemed very calm when you were kind of explaining what you said, so that's good. See, I'm hoping that it was perceived that way as well. So that's good, man. Good job with that. So here's the question, though. Here's the big question. Knowing what you know now and having that first interview out of the way, you know what the questions were. You had that experience. You saw the environment with everybody there, and those 3 main questions came up and you were able to answer them. Knowing what you know and what you did, what's 1 or 2 things you would have done differently?
Well, definitely be a little bit more confident on the walk there, so that I could start off really, really well, because I was a little shaky in the beginning, just getting to know people and just being shy. So definitely I'm just going to try and toss that out and just, be that way.
Okay.
I think for maybe the ethical question, I think my answer was good, but I would probably add a little bit more of getting to the root of why that person was cheating in the first place.
Because they didn't study? That'll be quick. Because they didn't study. They were studying 3 other things, because after the exam that you saw the person cheating in, y'all have 2 more on Thursday and another one on Friday. So that's the answer.
Yes. But also being, I guess, more helpful in that situation, trying to connect them with resources to get up to speed on that material instead of having to, take that route. I think that's probably about it. Everything else was pretty good.
Okay.
Maybe more eye contact, but I think I did a decent amount. Since there were 2 people, I had to, bounce between them, but I think it was pretty good.
Okay. I was going to say on a couple of those points, we talking about eye contact and being more confident. Just keep in mind, and this might put a little pressure on you, but keep in mind from the time that you walk through the building to the time that you leave, 2, 3, 4 hours later, whatever it is, that time period, it's on. Like you are on display. Like you have to be on because you don't know who's watching you. You don't know, they could have cameras and they're watching people as they come in. They could have people at the door as they're greeting you that may not be part of the interview, the sit-down interview, but it may be somebody who reports and says, all right, we got so-and-so and so-and-so, and, they're goofing off over. You just never know who's watching. So just keep in mind for the next interview, as soon as you walk through that door, man, it's on.
Yes, sir.
And all through that period, doing the social, the interaction, and when the 9 of you got together, they're watching. You may not know that they're watching, but somebody's watching and reporting that. And how you guys interact, and then how you interact with people that you're meeting, maybe some of the students, they're taking note, they're giving some feedback as well, right? And then when you leave, so that whole day, from the time you leave your hotel to the time you get back, you're on, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And increasing eye contact, I'm going to give you a quick tip, to help you if you're a little bit shy, a little bit introverted. You don't actually have to look right at their eye, but you can pick a spot like right here. Okay? And most of us won't know that you're looking in between our eyebrow here.
Okay, thank you.
But it still allows you to kind of focus on, that area that's close to the eyes. And for the most part, we person can't really tell that you're looking at them, but you're not really looking at them, but you are looking at them. To kind of release some of that stress that people may have from confronting another person's that's right in front of them. Outside of that, the only thing you can do, man, is just practice. Look at a classmate, look at somebody at work, and just practice talking to them like you and I are talking right now. Just practice talking to them so that fear and that anticipation just kind of rolls off.
That's true.
And you don't have that fear anymore.
That's true.
So some of it's just practicing, man.
Okay.
And that'll be good. So, well, I'm excited for you, man. How many more programs, schools, interviews you got lined up?
So far 2, but I'm hoping to hear back from more. So it's just the waiting game at this point. But I'm happy so far. I'm happy that I have some to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's some people that would love to be in your shoes. I was going to tell you one last tip that I have for you with this whole interviewing is, keep in mind, pay attention. Pay attention to the people that you're meeting.
Yes.
Right? You mentioned 2 people already, so I can tell you've been, you were paying attention.
I remember them.
Yep, you remember them, right? And then also you want to pay attention to the people that you interview. That interviewed you, right? You want to make sure you know their name. And I always tell people, try to get a business card or something that they have, so that you can eventually, what you want, and the reason why you want to do that is because you want to send them a personalized thank you. Right?
Yes.
Everybody gets an email all the time, but not a lot of people get stuff in the mail that they can actually touch and open up and read and see your handwriting.
Yes, sir.
In these interviews, for the most part, all the candidates could be D1 students, but it's just a matter of everyone has the same credentials. Everyone's probably got the same range of scores, but it's the interview that really puts your credentials from the paper to life when you come to the interview. So you've got to find things that are going to help you stick out in a positive way, right? So you can get noticed. So one of the things that has always been helpful for me and other people that I've been talking to is that thank you note. Because not a lot of people are doing it. Thank you notes probably went out 20 years ago. And as you as a millennial, You know, I'd be surprised if you even did even seen a thank you note before.
You know, I've never seen one, but I definitely wrote one yesterday.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, if it's not an e-vite or thank you note or something like that, but it does say something that you took the time, and
Mhm.
in that thank you note, you want to write something that you and the one or two of the interviewers connected with.
Okay.
Maybe it was the story that you told them about Jamaica, and maybe that person went to Jamaica, or that person likes to travel, or something. You when you're doing that interview, you want to jot down some notes
Mhm.
and make sure you find at least one or two things about that interviewer
Yes.
that you can recall and put in your note, so that not only do you remember them, but now, boom, they're going to remember you as well.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's why, I was texting you and say, hey, make sure you find out the names of the person, get a business card. And that's the reason why, so that you can send a personalized, high quality thank you note that kind of helps to kind of separate you from everybody else
Yes.
as a candidate.
Yes.
So, and I would tell you, try to do those as soon as possible. Within no more than a week. I would
Mhm.
say just as soon as possible, so you can remember and just go out and buy some thank you cards. Just have them for yourself, and just kind of practice that as you are continuing to interview at all these different places.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
that's good, man. Well, hey, I'm so glad we connected, even though it was kind of on the run, less than 12 hours before your interview. But you're smiling and you're alive, so that means you survived and you did well.
Yes, sir.
That's great, man. That's great, man. So let's do this. If you have some more questions and about interviewing, or what to do, or if you have a unique situation that's coming up and you want to get some just some more help with it, just reach out to me. Shoot me another email. You guys that are listening and you guys that are watching, you shoot me an email right here at newdentistcoach@gmail.com. That's also for future student Dr. Ramsey too. You can shoot me that email over there. That's how we'll connect. You can also find me on Instagram at _new_dentist_coach. If you guys are listening, that you guys want some help, or you want some personalized one-on-one coaching, or just some tidbits that are pertinent to your own situation, just shoot me an email, and we'll we'll respond to you and get you some help. Okay. Hey, man, thanks so much for joining, and for connecting with me, and I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the results of the rest of these interviews, and hopefully come December. I think usually that's the first wave. December is the first wave, when you as PreDental start hearing about admissions and selections and all that kind of stuff. So yes, we're gonna just sweat it out, but you'll be fine, man. So all right.
Yes. Thank you so much for all the help. Like all
You're
the
welcome. You're welcome. And again, guys, if you guys want some help similar to this, shoot me an email. Also, check out the next video right, boop, right there. It's coming. It's coming right there. That's been selected just for you based on this episode. All right, Doc. Take care. Our future student, Dr. Ramsey. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
have a good
Good
night.
luck to you, man. All right. Bye.